gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of the FinTech Hunting Podcast. We are back at you from Newport Beach, California at the Insellerate Experience Summit, and I have a very special guest. He has been on past episodes of the FinTech Hunting Podcast, and we couldn't be more excited to see him live and in person. Andy, introduce yourself, tell our listeners who you are, where you're from, and then we will hit the ground running.
Andy Mears from the Bank of England Mortgage. I'm based out of Indianapolis, Indiana, but our teams are in Indianapolis, Minneapolis, and Tampa, Florida.
Fantastic. Well, Andy, it's great to have you back. First, what do you think of a conference like this? Why is it important to be associated and come to these type of events?
Michael, it's been a fantastic conference that the Insellerate guys have put on here. It's just amazing how all of us kind of get entrenched in our own processes and systems very instinctively, and without having formats like this to just think and spend the time away from the day-to-day operations, and also just see all the other best practices that are out there. You know, you're not learning and growing if you're not at things like this.
And I think that's so critical. I love that, learning and growing. And you have to have some benchmarks, right? Of, hey, how are you doing? Wow, somebody is doing something I didn't even know was available. And then there are others, checks and balances to say, yes, we're doing really well. We've got some systems in place, and I think it kind of gives that reality check as you're leveraging and using the technology. What are some of the things technology-wise that you see, we're coming out of COVID and maybe going back in a little bit? How have you had to change your approach to lending during this whole COVID experience?
Yeah, it's definitely been interesting. I think we've all had to deal with the people challenge and the remote challenge layered on top of the incremental increase in volume we all experienced. So that obviously made life interesting for a while. We've been operationally now able to staff up to the higher volume levels that we're operating at. So now, I think at least our group's in a good spot to take a step back and really kind of reevaluate processes and systems and kind of take a forward-looking approach to things. One of the interesting things that our group's had a lot of success with, over the course of the last several years, but specifically the last year and a half or so, we're doing a lot of direct-to-consumer purchase business.
Okay.
And that's taken us a long time to get there and figure out parts of that. And then a second tranche that we're having a lot of success with is the non-QM space, which is also very interesting. And non-QM for a period of time almost faded away in the mortgage, or kind of went on a pause there through COVID. But it's come back full force, and there's just a whole another pocket of consumers that we're able to very, quickly help out with some products that are newer to the space. So
fantastic. What do you see some of the things coming down the pike? What's in store for the mortgage industry the rest of this year, and as we lead into 22? What are some of your priorities, and what are some of the trends you see coming?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're all curious on what rates are going to do, and we talked about them here. And I think we all got to be prepared for them to go either way, up or down, because I don't think anybody knows, right? We all see some of the macro things going on in the economy and are all concerned about inflation, but at the same time, as we've seen even over the course of the last couple weeks here, with some of the concerns that are going on in the market, we've actually seen them, come back in our favor. So, no, but I don't think we know. We really have to be prepared for anything to happen in that rate space. So we just got to get better at our craft, regardless of the scenario.
I love that about getting better at your craft. You're right. We don't know, right? All of the procrastinators, all the people that were making predictions heading into 2021. Rates are going to go up. All of the forecasts, Rob Kurtzman talked about that here at the conference, and a lot of it did come true.
Yeah,
Rates
absolutely.
have gone down a little bit and everything like that. What are some of the other things that you were most excited about learning while you were here at the summit?
Yeah, I mean, with us in particular, this is a good opportunity for us to take a step back and reevaluate how we're using Insellerate and the associated tools from the workflow perspective, and as we've seen here at the conference, some of the other vendors that are already interfaced to the technology. Right. That was one of the things that excited me about coming too. Is hey, are there new tools in place that I can very easily, without reinventing the wheel, kind of get in place that makes sense for
there. The systems are talking already.
Exactly. So those are some big things that I'm looking to learn from the conference.
Fantastic. Well, you always have so many great insights. Thank you for being a guest on this episode of the FinTech Hunting Podcast.
Sounds great, Michael. Thank you. Good to see you again.
Great to see you.